You're listening to The Blind Chick, an Aftersight original podcast. We're telling you stories about strength, overcoming hurdles, and living experiences. We see who you really are. Blindness can be an adventure. Are you ready for the journey of a lifetime? We are.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Blind Chick. That's Moses Street.
And that is Penn Street, the Blind Chick.
Woohoo!
And this is because I've got to get back in the good graces of the Blind Chick because I was not a good boy last week. And her birthday's coming up on the 24th of this month, March. And a long time ago, when we were first together, I secretly contacted all of her friends, and then I took her to a coffee house, and her friends just all, there were about 30 of them, just gradually would show up like they were just going to the coffee shop, and all of it, and it was about half of them had shown up, and before Penn realized it was her birthday surprise. And and so I want to do a version of it. Is you know how on social media, yes, it's wonderful to get a few hundred people clicking happy birthday, but imagine old school if you got that several hundred birthday cards in the mail, which just reminded me there's a UPS on the front porch, dear.
Oh, okay.
But imagine getting, 100, 200 birthday cards on your birthday.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially, it would be so cool because people listen to The Blind Chick all over the world. And so to get, a card, especially if it's in Braille, not that it has to be, but like from, like Oksana in Russia or whatever, it would just be like I would, we're just about to move into our new studios and offices here in Colorado. Aftersight is, and it would be so fun to put those cards and stuff up on the wall.
And that's awesome. and that's exciting for me because I'll be at the new studio off and on because they put me on a very restricted payroll, and I'm getting paid not to ever go near them.
That actually kind of makes me your boss. I'm just saying. Well, let's get out of the weeds here and get back to why we're here today.
I am so excited. It is. We have been talking about her for weeks now, and she has become a really good friend. Since the last podcast, and can't wait to catch up.
Yes, everybody, you are in for a treat. And yes, this is going to be a two-parter because there's no way we can fit this amazing woman into one episode.
Well, she needs a 10-parter.
She needs her own podcast, really.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that.
Oh, there we go. Oh, great idea.
Yeah.
Right. No, Jonathan's listening. So, Jonathan, get on that. Get on that. Talk about going viral.
Exactly. And this is not our guest's first time being on The Blind Chick. A couple of years ago, we had her on, and it really grew into a beautiful friendship, as Moses said, but also an incredible event. And today we have the one and only Diane Schuur, and I'm allowed to call her Deeds, which was a really fun honor. Deeds, welcome back to The Blind Chick.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much, Penn. I call you Penn. Is that still your Penn?
Yes, you do. Which I adore. Yes, and Diane Deeds was on The Blind Chick. She was putting out an album, and was, and we just, even in the pre-show, we just really hit it off. And then we put our heads together and came together and did this amazing fundraiser for Aftersight called Concert in the Dark in Denver. And Deeds, it was just so wonderful that you came out and did that for us. People are still talking about it. I still have the poster. Yeah, I have the poster up in my office, and it was just such an incredible time. But I know that was really a turning point for you in not only in your career, your life, and we really wanted to have you back on to share, because I think a lot of times I know with me, even when I hear, somebody who's well known, we all seem like, oh, their life is perfect. They live in this bubble. They never get sick. They never have a heartache or anything. But that really isn't true. And I want to thank you up front for your bravery, being willing to come on and share. It has been a roller coaster for you over the last few years. And so I know it wasn't very long after that concert here in Denver that things kind of took a turn. So do you want to kind of take us back to that a little bit?
Yeah, well, the concert, do you remember the date? It was almost 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It was March.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah, I know.
But yes, a lot of things have happened. Where do I start? Well, let me just start from the fact that in 2016, one day, I woke up and I could barely hear out of my left ear. And it freaked me out. So I had a limousine take me to emergency. There's no way.
Of course you did.
Okay. Of course I did. And it was in October of 2016, and then I was diagnosed in November of 2016 of a disease called Meniere's. And it's an inner ear condition which brings on tinnitus and vertigo, and it can be very debilitating. And I knew from that moment my life most likely would never be the same. And so, but in spite of that, I kept working. I kept keeping on, just keep on keeping on. And that was a really brave thing for me to do too. But I had to realize that as I kept going and doing my career thing, doing it on the road and stuff like that, but they're right, it is a progressive disease. And then finally, the reckoning came on January 9th of last year, just a little over a year ago. And I got up and I had what is known as the Epley maneuver, where they put you in all sorts of different positions to get the crystals to cooperate. Those are located in your inner ear and everything. And it was like, geez, the vertigo got worse. And it's like, I knew from that day, I had 13 gigs I had to walk away from. First date was going to be in San Diego the next night. And I called my manager, Nancy Meyer, and I said, Nan, dear, I won't be able to do this. And I've never, even in my worst of my alcoholism and being hungover and everything, never walked away from a gig unless I had pneumonia. And even then, I still managed to do the tune finally at Capitol Records with Stevie Wonder.
Right.
And I was running a fever and everything, but I knew this was different. And it's like that intuitive, we talk about that Penn in the organization we both belong to. And it's like, I knew that this was absolutely a turning point. I'm putting my hand on my heart for those who cannot see what I just did. And so there was a lot of work that we had to undo. And for the most part, I could say that people were very empathetic. everyone was very just, oh my God, I just starting, to tear up just a little bit, even thinking about it now. Is it the best wishes, for healing? But I did have a place to go to, which is called Motion Picture Television Fund, and this is where I reside now in Woodland Hills, California.
Wow! Oh, right,
and
right.
It's and we escaped the fires too, thank goodness. But yeah, so anyway, it's an assisted living facility where I live, and I thank God for that, because before we got on air, I was talking about the fact that one day the vertigo was so bad that I took 2 falls within 2 or 3 minutes of each other on the 28th of December, and I had to go to the ER because people around here wanted to make sure that I didn't have to go in for surgery. So I spent about 6.5 hours in the ER, but I had my phone with me, and I just listened to my stuff and other people's stuff and everything, and I had the presence of mind to bring my new hearing aid with me. And so the box is so cute. It says Deeds box. It's one of those magnetic boxes that people shut by yourself. It's really cool. And so, yeah, the audiogram says I've lost 23%, but my audiologist, Dr. Andrew Newman, he said that it's more like 50% that I've lost in my left ear. So but now I've got this cool hearing aid. It's actually got a little microphone built into it, and it's very easy once you get the knack of it. I can do it with one hand. So this is what's happened, and for the most part, except for when I do a program called Harry's Poetry Hour.
Yes.
That's with Harry Northup, who's really cool.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I just did it yesterday, and it was just really fun. And I read 2 passages from a book called The Prophet. The first one was on prayer. It's by Khalil Gibran. And the second one was on pleasure. So I thought, oh, good, I won't have to fumble with the pages. And the library, the Braille Institute of LA, sent me the one and only hard copy.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you, what were you reading from? Do you have a refreshable Braille cell, or did you get an actual hard copy?
No, I just read from Braille books.
Wow. You're old school. Good for you.
I am old school. I still have a Perkins Braille writer.
Yep, me too. Me too.
You're right. And it still works pretty well. And no, I never even saw what a refreshable Braille display looks like or whatever. I just do it from the books themselves. And yeah, so
that's wonderful.
Anyway.
So I know your fans are going to ask, because not only with when you came on and did the interview with me, but even at the concert and everything, which was May 4th, 2023. So we are coming up on 2 years. That's so crazy that it's.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
2023. It is going to be 2 years on May 4th.
Isn't that crazy? But I know a lot of people know Puss Puss, your kitty. Can you share the sad news?
Yes, dear. Puss Puss left the planet on November 7th of last year. She'd been suffering from kidney disease. And you know how intuitive, well, you're an animal lover.
Yes.
You have Beethoven, and they kind of tell you, maybe not in words. She told me on the day that I launched her to Vertigo, she told me in the language, she said, Mama, I've got to go. It's time for me to go. And so my friend Nicholas Eliopoulos, who's a fabulous film producer of documentaries who lives at Motion Picture, he took me in his little car, and we went to the VCA, and I sang Over the Rainbow to Puss Puss as she relaxing and transitioning. And everyone missed her so much. I mean, even the help, I'd say, do you need a hug?
Oh.
And I'd be giving them comfort because the women especially were weeping because they all loved Puss Puss. And there's a beautiful, you may not be able to see it, but right behind my bed, there's a beautiful portrait of Puss Puss on the wall right above my bed. So she's been a good girl, and she served her purpose. She helped me to get adjusted to this place.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because I remember you and I talked when you had made the decision that you really did need to move there and that you had gotten accepted but I know that must have been traumatic, even for Puss Puss, maybe I mean, that's a big move from.
It is. We had to move everything pretty much in one day. The first piece of furniture that arrived that is off to my left is my recliner.
Oh.
Puss Puss used to hop into my lap and, lay with me on the bed.
Yeah.
And, everyone loved Puss. And
Are you contemplating getting another one?
Well, I was thinking about it, except that with this fire situation that happened, I'm kind of hesitant, at least for now. You can only take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
It may happen. Who knows? I may even inherit a kitty someday. I don't know, but I'm just giving it time.
Yeah.
Giving myself time to be able to, get even really more settled in. But I feel so much better now. I think I've gotten to the phrase, getting to the other side of the mountain now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good. Do you think Deeds, I mean, you faced a lot of, and everybody, I do recommend that you go back and listen to our conversation from 2023, because Deeds does share a lot about her life and growing up and her music career and everything. But I know back then in 2023, Deeds, you shared the adversities that you had gone through as a blind child and just growing up in the music world as well. You were very young and wasn't all roses. And do you think going through that adversity helped sort of prepare you for this huge change?
Yes, just like Sully Sullenberger, when he had to land in the Hudson.
Yeah.
And he was reflecting on, because I read some of that book and of course saw the movie too, that everything that he had gone through in life had prepared him for that moment of being able to do what he had to do. And so everything in my life has prepared me for the moment of making this transition for what most likely this is my last stop. This is it. This is my dress rehearsal before the big transition. And I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's helping me to not have as much fear, because we all suffer from the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether a person is a celeb or what, but I'm just, I am for the most part feeling peace and a joy to be able to spread the love to other people, like when I go to Harry's Poetry Hour and share some of the poetry that I love so much, and just doing, going to the dining room and having a meal with friends and all of this kind of stuff, and going and working out. And I've gotten pretty good. I did 80 pounds on the leg press today.
Oh, you can. I think you can do more than me.
Well, next week I'm going to try for 100. So,
wow.
That's actually a lot. Yeah.
Oh, it is. But I'm stocky, so I'm using that, to bolster, as far as my strength and everything.
Well, in women, we have the majority of our strength is in our lower half Unlike men, it's more in the upper half. That's that. I know you have gone through so much in the last, even just the last year, much less the last 2 years. But you've shared. You've been very open that you're a recovering alcoholic, and
and I celebrated 35 years October 9th of last year.
I know, and that's another very very strange. Like, it just shows you friendships are meant to happen. Deeds, but that's also my sobriety day. So it's like, it's amazing, all these things that two people have in common that had never met until 2 years ago. I had listened to your music, of course, because who hasn't? But that very first one when we talked and you told me October, and I was like, you've got to be kidding. That's my sobriety day. So what did you do something special on October 9th?
Well, I there's a little place across the way called the Katzenberg building, and I went ahead and celebrated. And I don't want to give anyone's anonymity away.
Right.
There's a very special person, an actor that I had the pleasure of meeting that night, and I whispered to him that I was in recovery, and he goes, "Oh," he was so thrilled. And then, of course, I went back and saw the movie The Penguin.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about.
Of course.
It was just so cool. I'll never forget.
Wow.
So,
well, that's going along with that. The question that's burning in me listening is, have they got a piano where you're living?
yes.
Oh, good. And
Yes.
And Penn was telling me from one of your conversations with her that you have a very special other person living in there, and do you guys sing together?
Oh, Huey. Oh, that guy. Okay.
I didn't want to be the name dropper because
Huey is a cool cat, man. And he's been suffering from Meniere. God bless him. In fact, oh my God, I was so sick on New Year's Day. And so Huey and I texted for hours because he can't hear well enough to have actual conversations. And I just told him, oh, my vertigo is so bad. And he goes, well, just keep breathing. And I'll never forget that. So it really, but it's true, because one thing that makes my vertigo worse is stress.
Yes. Yeah.
Stress.
Right.
That's the worst. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but Huey did help me. I knew it was, never been New Year's Eve quite like that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can he even still sing though without? Because I know we have a friend which you and I have talked about, Mandy Harvey, who is who's deaf.
I've heard her.
Yeah, who's a jazz singer. Yeah, and she's completely deaf, but she's pitch perfect like you. And that, I mean, it just blows my mind that.
Well, if it weren't for the vertigo, I probably would have been able to continue on. But I'm a high fall risk, so I have to be very careful.
But I know you still sing. You said what was it, Christmas that you were singing for?
Yeah, I decided just kind of like spontaneously on Christmas Day, to be exact, after breakfast, I say, hey, let's go to the piano. And so there's a beautiful grand. And so I went to the grand, and it was really in good tune too. So I played Christmas songs, and one of the ones that I remember most vividly is "Merry Christmas, Darling" by Karen Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, and Deeds did it. Gave me a huge gift. That first night we were in Denver together, and there was a piano in the hotel lobby, and you sat down and you sang one of my favorite songs, "Pennies from Heaven," and you did it without practicing. You just whipped it out, and then the next day during the concert, you sang it again, and it was definitely a highlight of my. That was
the highlight of the whole thing.
Oh, it was such a huge gift for me.
Yeah, what an evening! That was so emotional. There were just you on the piano, and I think Penn and I, and your friend, and I'm horrible on names, was there.
Yeah, your road manager for.
It was so beautiful, so cool.
Yes, and Michael was there, my coworker and brother-in-law,
Yes.
and best friend, and he said to say hello. I told him we were going to be on together today, so he said, "Make sure you tell her I said hello."
Yeah.
So, well, Deeds, I would like what's next for you? I mean, Moses and I are hoping to get out and to see you. And
I would love that.
Yeah.
Come and check out the place. They actually have rental cottages for a very, very reasonable price that you can actually stay overnight or 2 nights or whatever.
That would be lovely.
And they're very, very close, and they've got golf carts, so you don't have to worry about that. And so, let me know, and we'll arrange a time where I'll show you what I call the Woodland Hills Beetle Pad.
Absolutely, and, I know. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But how are you? I know you say you're on your final chapters or whatever, but I don't think of you that way.
Yeah, well, as far as residents go, probably.
Yeah, but I know you've made so many connections there already, and but what are some of your hopes and dreams that you would like to accomplish?
Well, I'd like to just keep spreading the word that this is, a wonderful place to live. As you know, it's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
You can just go to nptf.com. But it's for musicians, for SAG members, actors, actresses, and all of the accoutrement that comes with it.
Yeah.
That come to be able to live here. And, Mary Pickford founded this place.
I didn't know that.
I knew she was a great businesswoman, but wow.
Yeah, she founded this place.
Wow.
And that's the end of part 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to The Blind Chick. I'm Jonathan Price, the podcast producer here at After Sight, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the comments, the feedback, and all the things that you guys do to make this show one of the top 10% shows in the world. We could not do it without you. Please share this out with your friends and family, as sharing this makes it grow even more. We want to make sure we're getting the word out. Come back next week, because Deeds has a very special gift for the one and only Penn Street for her birthday. So come back, check it out, and we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. It's good for your soul.